All right, Eagle Nation, the matchup is officially set. Super Bowl 57, Eagles versus Chiefs. It does not get better than this. What is going on, everyone? Welcome into A to Z Philly, your number one home for Eagles coverage. Hit the like button if you are pumped to see the Birds back in the big game. Subscribe here on A to Z Philly's YouTube channel so you don't miss any of the upcoming coverage. We will be breaking this down for the next 2 weeks from every angle leading up to the Super Bowl. I cannot wait. What a day it was yesterday to see the Birds get it done in handily fashion. Wasn't even close, and the fans of Philadelphia flooded the streets last night. Here is a view. Look at all that green flooding down Broad. Talk about one thing that can really galvanize people and bring everyone together, especially in this city. I say it all the time, best sports city in America. It is not even close. The players that play in the city will tell you the same damn thing. Look at that, man. And let me tell you something. The last parade was it was absurd. If you were at that parade in 2017, 2018, it was absurd. And if they get this one done, I can't even imagine what it is going to look like in terms of a massive scale. But hopefully the Eagles were able to get that done. They know, as much as everyone else, as the players, instilled last night, there is still unfinished business. There is still one more, and it's going to be a thrilling game. This Super Bowl matchup is going to be nuts. There's so many stories inside the story, right? We'll talk about our initial reactions and thoughts today, but really, I'm kind of mesmerized a little bit. Like, I never would have thought to see Andy Reid in a Super Bowl against the Philadelphia Eagles, right? 14-year head coach for the Eagles, got him to 5 NFC championships, one of the best coaches of all time, never got the job done, ended up going to Kansas City and got his ring, and now we see in the Philadelphia Eagles in the Super Bowl. You can't write a better script. And, talk about the Travis Kelce, Jason Kelce thing, first pair of brothers to ever go against each other in the Super Bowl. Nick Sirianni used to be a wide receivers coach back in the day for the Kansas City Chiefs. There are so many storylines, and I cannot wait to look into it. I want to quickly hit on the game yesterday because while the Eagles made it very easy, the Kansas City Chiefs did not, and they were luckily granted a 15-yard penalty down at the end of the game, which advanced them into field goal range, and they ended up beating the Bengals late in the game in the final moments. And I'm be honest, I did not expect the Bengals to lose that game. They did not look as consistent as before, and honestly, the Chiefs didn't look that consistent either. It was a dogfight, and the Chiefs were able to pull it out. But anytime you're playing Patrick Mahomes, anytime you're playing Andy Reid, they're going to put up a good fight. But yeah, it's going to be Eagles and Chiefs. And to be honest, right now, I think the Eagles initially hold the upper hand. In fact, they were a 2.5 point favorite last night to begin. And obviously there's going to be a couple weeks here to see what happens, but the Eagles are coming out as the favorite, and I can't wait to see how it goes. Speaking of which, shout out to our sponsor here of A to Z Philly, BetMGM. You can turn your loss into a win with an exclusive offer from BetMGM. Go download their app, sign up for an account, and use the promo code ATOZPA. Place a one-game parlay with 4 legs, and if all of the legs of the parlay hit except for one, you will get your bet back up to $25 as a free bet. Once again, your stake back as a free bet up to $25 if all of the legs of your parlay hit except for one. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. 21 years of age or older to wager. Pennsylvania only. New and existing customer offer. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. I'm taking the Eagles on the spread, just like I did this past week. Thank you for them to win me money. Usually I don't bet on my own team, but I just knew. I knew they were going to destruct. I said the Eagles needed to win the turnover battle, and they needed to put Brocky on his ass, which is exactly what they did. I called it to a T, and they had a balanced attack. And once again, the Eagles came out and established it. They said, this is our house. And obviously it's unfortunate for Brock Purdy, who they said is going to be out for 6 months. But you know what? Why did the Eagles get to him? Because they penetrated that offensive line, and the Niners could not stop it. The Eagles came out and immediately punched them in the mouth. And my player of the game, Hassan Reddick, he tweeted out today. And I was so proud of Hassan Reddick. I don't know how he's not a Defensive Player of the Year finalist. He says, went from being drafted by Arizona 1 pick ahead of the Eagles in 2017 to being on his hometown Eagles and getting ready to play for a Super Bowl in Arizona. How crazy is it? Well, live in the moment, Hassan. You have been absolutely unreal. Once again, 2 sacks in the first half yesterday. The Niners had no chance. Obviously, they're out there with no quarterback, and they can't do anything after their 3rd and 4th string quarterbacks go down. Well, guess what? Nonetheless, the Eagles played a much cleaner game. They didn't have as many penalties. Niners defense got sloppy. They got chippy. They got pissed off. And the Eagles put up 31 points on what they called the best defense in the NFL, the number 2 ranked defense against the run. The Eagles have dominated all these opponents all year long, and it's time for the disrespect to stop. Speaking of which, a lot of talk today, a lot of topic of conversation about the Eagles didn't play anybody. They didn't have a good road to the Super Bowl. They didn't beat anybody. Well, let me tell you what, that is the most idiotic claim that I have ever heard in my life. And I'm going to sum it up for you very easy here. Shout out to Ruben Frank here on Twitter. He says the Eagles had an easy schedule. Well, best records in NFL history versus winning teams. The Eagles are tied for the top 9-1 against winning teams. It's an absolute false statement. And let me tell you something. Even if they did have an easy playoff road, which we talked about here on this show, guess what? Everybody was high riding the Giants. Everybody said Brock Purdy was the next coming of this and that, and he was on a 9-0 win streak and couldn't be stopped. Well, guess what? The Eagles earned that opportunity because they have dominated everybody this entire season, this entire year. They were 14-3. If it wasn't for a Quez Watkins dropped football late in the game and 2 games of Gardner Minshew, the Philadelphia Eagles may be undefeated. I'm just telling you right now, they have been this far away from every other team. So the fact that people are saying the Eagles had an easy, opportunity to get here, it's an absolute joke and it's BS and nobody should be listening to that. Anyway, that's my rant about that. But yeah, once again, another dominating football game yesterday. They got it done. And now they're going up against Andy Reid and the Chiefs. Now, what I saw yesterday from the Chiefs, Mahomes looks banged up. Now he has 2 weeks to kind of rest on it. Travis Kelce was questionable, game time decision. He ended up suiting up, had a touchdown. He's always dangerous. You know that, right? But I don't know if Mahomes is going to be 100% come Super Bowl time. I don't think he will. And he could barely even put weight on that foot. I mean, one of that crazy throw he made yesterday into the end zone to Kelce, he threw it through 2 defenders and he couldn't even put weight on that right foot. So, just like I said about Daniel Jones, just like I said about Brock Purdy, the Eagles D-line is going to get the Mahomes and they're going to put him on his ass. They're going to do that early. Jonathan Gannon has been brilliant in these playoffs. And that's just the MO of the Eagles, right? They build in the trenches. And one of the most important things is I think back to the last couple Super Bowls, right? Joe Burrow got attacked heavily. Pat Mahomes got put on the ground. He got shoved into the ground when they played the Bucs a couple years ago. You have to be solid in the trenches, and the Philadelphia Eagles are the most competent team. They're the most structured team in both sides of the ball when it comes to the trenches that I've seen of any team in the playoffs, that I've seen any team all year. And that advantage right there is the number one reason why I think the Eagles hold the upper hand, and I think they're going to hold up against this Chiefs team. But yeah, they're going to get the Mahomes, man. Brandon Graham, Hargrave, Reddick, Sweat, all these guys, Fletch, they are so hungry. You could see it. There's a different confidence compared to 2017. 2017 was the journey ride. This is the team that's much better in terms of talent. They know that the opportunity is there. They just have to go out and finish the job. So that's one thing where I think the Eagles are going to hold the upper hand. And the other thing is that, they ran for 268 yards against the New York Giants. They ran for 148 yesterday. Even though Jalen didn't play his best game, the Eagles still put up 31 against a really good defense. And that is because they are so versatile. They're so multifaceted. They can kill you any single way. It's Devontae, it's AJ, it's Dallas Goedert, or it's the 3-headed running back. And oh, by the way, Jalen Hurts can kill you with his legs. So there is just too many weapons that the Eagles have. And if they just play somewhat up to par, they can blow away this Chiefs team. I'm telling you. Maybe that's a bold prediction, but they can handle this team. Nick Sirianni talked to the team after the game. He says, we've all dreamed about this. The goal wasn't just to get there. We have one more. Might as well win the whole effing thing. Let's go finish it off. Bravo to Nick Sirianni. Year 2 of Doug Peterson and Carson Wentz. The Eagles get to a Super Bowl. They win. Year 2 of Nick Sirianni and Jalen Hurts. In fact, 2 years to the day, yesterday where Nick Sirianni's opening press conference pissed off Eagle fans, and they were, coming at him for his grammar and all this stuff. And here he is going to the Super Bowl. It's absolutely poetic. Jalen Hurts last night looked like an absolute stone cold killer. This guy's ready, man. All business. He is ready for the big game. He's been doubted. He's been thrown out by people before. He's ready, man. I've never seen a young guy look more ready than Jalen Hurts. How about Jalen Hurts? Most wins in a season by a quarterback in any of his first three, including playoffs. 16 wins for Jalen Hurts this year. All the guy does is win. All the guy does is win. It doesn't matter how. He just wins. And really cool story here where he told Devontae Smith last year after the Bengals made the bowl that he said, yo, this could be us. We're going to get there. We see what they do, and we know we can get there. Well, you have Devontae, you add his best freaking friend, A.J. Brown, and look what happens. Look what happens. Andy Reid commented on this game. He says, I had a great time there, 14 years. I'm happy for them, happy for the city. They're passionate, and he cannot wait to face the Eagles. And how about the Kelsey brothers? Look at these resumes, man. I mean, 6-time Pro Bowl, 8-time Pro Bowl. Both have a ring, both all pros. These guys are ridiculous, man. It is going to be it is going to be a scrappy battle, I'll tell you that. But I think the Eagles can pull off. I think they are the better team. And we have 2 weeks to see how everything plays out. But Mahomes is a magician. You have to give him his respect. I'll finish off by saying this here today. The Philadelphia Eagles have already beat, statistically, the greatest quarterback ever in Tom Brady in the biggest moment in the biggest game. If they take down Pat Mahomes, I don't want to hear a damn thing from anybody ever again. If they go and beat Brady and then Mahomes in the Super Bowl, can you imagine? Can you imagine? This franchise has endured success, even though they haven't won a lot of Super Bowls. They've been to the championship game plenty of times in the last 20 years. If they finish it off here with probably the best season in franchise history by beating Pat Mahomes and Andy Reid and finishing the business he never finished here in Philadelphia, man, oh man, this is going to go down. It's probably the best team in franchise history. But anyway, we will leave it at there. We'll break down more as we go. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. Be sure to hit the like button, comment, subscribe. And with that being said, I will catch you all on the next one. Peace.